Have you ever felt like your habits might be holding you back from living a fuller and happier life as you age? You're not alone. As we grow older, certain behaviors that once seemed harmless can start to drain our energy, affect our health, and prevent us from truly enjoying this stage of life. In this video, we'll reveal the 7 things you must stop doing immediately to regain control of your well-being and experience a more vibrant, fulfilling life. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. Before we continue, I'd like to ask you something important. Have you already subscribed to our channel? If not, take a moment now so you don't miss out on any of our future videos on sexuality, relationships, and everything in between. Trust me, these are topics that can open doors to new understanding, new perspectives, and perhaps even some life-changing insights. And if this video strikes a chord with you, be sure to hit the like button. Your simple gesture of support can help us reach countless others who might need this message as much as you do. Also, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Type 1 if this topic resonates with you, or 0 if it doesn't feel relevant to your life right now. This feedback is so valuable because it allows us to continuously improve and create content that truly speaks to your needs and concerns. Now let's dive into something crucial, something that affects so many of us, often without us even realizing it: the habit of accepting everything people say without questioning it. I mean, think about it. How many times have you found yourself nodding along, agreeing to something, just because it felt easier? You see, as time goes on, it's almost natural to fall into this automatic mode where we just accept things without putting up a fight. And honestly, it does seem like the smoother path, doesn't it? Fewer arguments, fewer uncomfortable confrontations, fewer headaches. It feels like a shortcut to peace. But let me tell you, this so-called peace comes with a price. And it's a price far higher than most of us realize. Because, in the end, what you're giving up is far more than a simple argument. You're giving up your autonomy. You're giving up the power to make decisions that truly reflect who you are at your core. Doesn't that thought shake you a little? It should. It certainly does for me. Because when we let others decide for us, when we allow their voices to overshadow our own, we aren't just losing small battles here and there. What we're losing is ourselves. Bit by bit, we start to forget what we want, what we truly believe in, and what makes us unique individuals. And that's a tragedy, especially as we get older. There's this ridiculous idea floating around that as we age, our opinions and our desires somehow matter less. That we've had our time, and now we should just sit back and let others take the reins. But honestly, how wrong is that? Society tends to treat old age like it's the end of something, like we should just fade quietly into the background, letting others decide what's best for us. But this couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, you've lived a life full of rich, diverse experiences. Every challenge you've overcome, every joy you've celebrated, every lesson you've learned has shaped the person you are today. Each one of those experiences is valuable. You've earned your voice. You've earned your right to speak up and to make decisions that reflect your beliefs, your desires, and your values. So why, after all that life, after all that hard-earned wisdom, should you silence yourself now? To give up on questioning, to simply accept everything others say without challenging it, is like erasing your entire journey. It's like saying that everything you've lived through, everything you've worked so hard to achieve, no longer matters. But here's the thing, it does matter. You matter. Your voice, your thoughts, your beliefs, they matter deeply. And more than anyone else, you need to be the one who recognizes that. You need to be the one who stands up for your voice and respects your convictions. Your beliefs are not just random ideas. They are the result of a lifetime of learning, growth, and experience. And they deserve to be heard. You deserve to be heard, especially when it comes to something as personal, as intimate as your sexuality and relationships. Don't let anyone tell you that your desires don't count anymore. Don't let anyone silence you. You have the power to enrich your life, to make it as fulfilling and passionate as you want it to be. And if you're looking for practical guidance to help you in this journey, I highly recommend checking out the book I've made available, Rediscovering Intimacy: Healthy Sexuality After 60 Years. It's packed with tips and advice on how to reignite that spark in your relationships and rediscover the passion that still burns within you. Don't miss your chance to grab a copy. Just check out the first pinned comment below. Copies are limited, so take action now and start transforming your love life today. Now let's talk about something else that's incredibly important: the issue of social isolation. This is a tough one because on the surface, it doesn't seem like such a big deal, right? After all, there's a certain comfort that comes with solitude, especially as we get older. The house is quiet, there's no pressure to engage in conversation, and you can simply enjoy the peace. Plus, let's be honest, sometimes the energy it takes to go out, to meet people, to keep up with social obligations can feel downright exhausting. It's so tempting to just retreat into the comfort of your own space, isn't it? To avoid the hassle and effort of socializing and just sink into the quiet solitude of home. But here's the catch. That choice, the choice to socially isolate yourself, can have devastating consequences. It's like a slow, silent poison that seeps into your mind and heart over time, eroding your emotional well-being without you even noticing. Yes, solitude might feel comforting in the short term, but in the long term, it can be incredibly harmful. Social isolation is more than just being physically alone. It's about the disconnection that happens when you withdraw from the world, when you stop reaching out to others, and when you let yourself drift away from the people who care about you. And the truth is, no matter how much you might enjoy your own company, we all need connection. We're wired for it. We're social creatures by nature. And without that connection, without those meaningful interactions with others, life starts to feel empty. The spark dims. The joy fades. You start to feel disconnected from the world, from others, and even from yourself. That silence, the peace you once found so comforting, starts to feel more like loneliness. And loneliness is one of the most dangerous things we can experience as we age. It can impact your mental health, your physical health, and your overall sense of purpose and well-being. So don't let yourself fall into the trap of isolation. Even if it feels easier, even if it feels like a comfortable choice, push yourself to stay connected. Reach out to friends, family, and loved ones. Engage in conversations, join a community group, or simply make an effort to be present in the lives of those around you. Because the truth is, we need each other. No matter how independent or self-sufficient we are, we all need a connection to thrive. And you deserve to thrive. You deserve to live a life full of joy, love, and fulfillment, surrounded by the people who care about you. Without even realizing it, when you begin to distance yourself from others, you open the door for something much more dangerous than solitude: loneliness. This kind of loneliness isn't just a passing emotion. It can take root deep within you and slowly, almost imperceptibly, start to erode your happiness, your health, and even your sense of self-worth. At first, it might seem harmless. You might think, I'm just taking some time for myself. Or it's easier to be alone than to put in the effort to engage. But over time, isolation can wrap itself around you like a heavy cloak, suffocating your joy, dulling your spirit, and creating a painful separation between you and the world. What many people don't realize is that stopping interaction with others not only affects your mood, but has real, tangible impacts on your overall health. It's well documented that social isolation is a significant risk factor for both physical and mental problems. The body, the mind, and the heart, they all thrive on connection. The brain, especially as we age, needs constant stimulation to stay sharp. It's not enough to simply exist in our bubble. We need the energy, the exchange, the dynamism that comes from interacting with other human beings. Have you ever noticed how a good conversation can lift your spirits? How laughing with a friend can instantly brighten your mood? Or how sharing your thoughts with someone who truly listens can make you feel heard and understood? These moments are powerful because they feed not just the mind but the soul. Social interactions are like oxygen for the brain. Without them, we slowly start to wither. And it's not just about being physically close to people, though that's important too. It's about truly being present in the moments you share with others. It's about listening with empathy, speaking with honesty, and opening your heart to the beauty of human connection. It's easy, especially as we grow older, to feel like making new friends or building new relationships is a challenge that's just too great to overcome. After all, the world changes, people move away, lifelong friends may no longer be nearby, and the social circles we once had can start to feel smaller and smaller. But just because the path has become more difficult doesn't mean it's a path you should abandon. On the contrary, now is the time when connection is more important than ever. Yes, it might take more effort to meet new people or to maintain those existing relationships, but the rewards of doing so are immeasurable. You might be thinking, I don't have the energy for that anymore, or I've lived my life. Do I need to keep pushing for more social connection? The answer is a resounding yes. You are a person full of rich experiences, knowledge, wisdom, and stories that deserve to be shared. You've lived through countless chapters of life, and each one of those chapters has given you something unique to offer. Just because the circumstances of your life have changed doesn't mean your ability to connect with others has to fade. You still have so much to give and so much to gain from the people around you. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Today's world offers more ways than ever to stay connected. If physically meeting up with others feels challenging, there are countless opportunities to stay involved through technology. You can use video chats to speak with family and friends who live far away. Join online communities with people who share your interests, or even make new friends through social media. The internet is filled with forums, groups, and spaces where you can engage with others without even leaving your home. And these interactions, even though they may not be face-to-face, can still have a profound impact on your well-being. But let's not forget about the value of in-person interaction either. Getting involved in local community groups or recreational activities can introduce you to new people who share your passions. Whether it's a book club, a gardening group, a fitness class, or even just a weekly coffee meetup, these activities aren't just about passing the time. They're about nurturing a sense of belonging. When you join a group, you become part of something larger than yourself. And that sense of community is vital for emotional and mental health. You don't have to go on this journey of life alone, and in fact, you shouldn't. Think about the simple joy of sitting with someone over a cup of coffee, sharing stories, or reminiscing about old times. These moments, while they may seem small, are incredibly important. They remind you that you are not alone, that there are people who care about you, and that your experiences, your very presence, matter to the world. Human beings are social creatures by nature. Even the most independent among us need connection. That's why every little interaction, every shared smile, every conversation is like a spark that keeps the fire of life burning within us. Yes, it's true that as we age, our energy might not be what it once was. Going out and meeting people may seem like a daunting task compared to the ease of staying at home in the comfort of familiar surroundings. But isolation, no matter how comforting it may seem at first, is a slow poison. It doesn't show its effects immediately, but over time, the lack of connection can lead to deep loneliness, depression, and even cognitive decline. Your mind, like any other part of your body, needs exercise. And social interaction is one of the most powerful forms of mental exercise there is. When you stop interacting with the world, your mind can start to feel dull, stagnant, and even disconnected from reality. Have you ever noticed how, after spending time with others, you feel more alert, more alive, and more engaged with life? That's not a coincidence. Every conversation, every bit of laughter, every moment of connection is stimulating your brain, keeping it active, sharp, and healthy. Your brain craves that stimulation, and without it, you can start to feel as though you're drifting through life without purpose or direction. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to stay connected, to engage with the world, and to enrich your life through the relationships you build. Whether it's through local activities, technology, or simply reaching out to an old friend, every effort you make to stay connected will bring you immense benefits. You'll find that your mind feels clearer, your heart feels lighter, and your overall sense of well-being improves dramatically. Don't underestimate the power of a simple conversation, a shared moment of laughter, or a friendly wave from a neighbor. These moments might seem small, but they are the building blocks of a fulfilled life. They remind you that you are part of something bigger, that you are connected to others, and that your life is rich with meaning. Loneliness is not your destiny, and isolation does not have to define your later years. You have the power to choose connection, to choose engagement, and to choose a life full of joy, love, and meaning. Believe me, every little interaction counts. Each time you open your heart to someone else, each time you allow yourself to be present with another person, you are nourishing not only your soul, but your mind and body as well. You are creating a life filled with purpose, connection, and happiness. So, don't wait. Reach out, engage, and let yourself be seen and heard. Your presence is a gift to the world, and it deserves to be shared. If you've been isolating yourself, it's time to deeply reflect on how incredibly precious those moments of human connection truly are. We often overlook the immense value found in simple interactions, whether it's sharing a heartfelt laugh, exchanging a quick smile, or reminiscing over old stories. These seemingly small moments hold an incredible power to uplift our spirits and bring a sense of belonging and fulfillment. These connections are the lifeblood of a meaningful, fully lived life. Don't let the soothing silence of isolation rob you of the vibrant relationships that are still waiting for you. The warmth of another person's company is not something to take lightly. It's something to cherish deeply, especially as time goes on. Another vital thing we must address is the tendency to neglect our physical health as we age. It's so easy to convince ourselves that our bodies no longer require the same care they once did, or that staying active is just too much of a hassle. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Our bodies crave movement, and in fact, physical activity becomes more essential with each passing year. Even if it's just taking a gentle walk around the block, stretching in the morning, or dancing to your favorite song, these small actions have monumental effects on our well-being. When we neglect movement, our muscles weaken, our mobility fades, and we open the door to serious health complications like heart issues. But the beauty of it all? Our bodies respond to the care we give them, no matter our age. Being physically active doesn't mean you need to adopt an intense, grueling workout routine. It's about honoring your body, respecting its current abilities, and celebrating what it can do. Physical activity is as much about nurturing your spirit as it is about caring for your body. With each step, each stretch, or each graceful movement, you are releasing endorphins, those magical hormones that naturally boost your mood, helping to chase away feelings of anxiety and depression. The amazing thing about the body is that the more you move, the more energy you'll feel radiating from within. And it builds over time. It's a beautiful, cumulative effect that grows stronger with every effort you make. If you're finding it hard to begin, try incorporating activities that fill your heart with joy. Whether it's tending to your garden, swimming in the cool water, or simply strolling through the park while soaking up the sunshine. Make these moments even more meaningful by inviting loved ones along, friends, family, or even neighbors, so that your time spent moving becomes not just physically enriching, but emotionally fulfilling too. Remember, taking care of your body is directly taking care of your well-being and quality of life. It's not about how fast you go or how much you do. It's about making each moment count, respecting your limits, and understanding the immense value in every single movement you make. Every small step is a victory. Don't underestimate its importance. The fourth thing to remember is the importance of stopping the habit of living in the past and allowing memories of bygone days to dominate your present life. Sure, reminiscing about old times is comforting and brings a sense of nostalgia. But when those memories become the lens through which you view everything, they start to suffocate your ability to see the beauty in the here and now. Dwelling too much on past joys or sorrows can deceive you into believing that the best moments of your life have already passed. That kind of thinking is like carrying a heavy burden that weighs you down, preventing you from moving forward and embracing the opportunities that are still waiting for you, right here in the present. It's completely natural to think about those what-ifs, missed opportunities, roads not taken, or decisions you wish had gone differently. But clinging to regret is like tying yourself to an anchor of frustration. You cannot change the past, and trying to relive or undo what has already happened will only steal your peace. What's important is recognizing that you have the power over what you do now. Each new day is a gift, a fresh opportunity to build something meaningful, no matter how big or small. Whether it's making new connections, trying something you've always wanted to do, or simply taking joy in the little moments, your present is a canvas waiting to be filled. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to create new memories, new stories, and new joys that you might never have imagined possible. It's a common misconception that after a certain age, there's no more room for novelty, for excitement, or discovery. But that's one of the greatest lies we tell ourselves. The truth is, there is always something new to learn, always another experience waiting to be had. Whether it's taking up a cooking class, joining a book club, trying out a new hobby, or even reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in years. Life continues to offer you opportunities for growth, pleasure, and connection. The key is to keep your heart open to these possibilities and allow yourself to live fully in the present. Don't let the shadows of yesterday dictate how you feel today. The past is a chapter that has already been written, but the rest of your story is still unfolding, and it holds so much potential for happiness. Embrace the present. Let go of the things you cannot change, and make room for the beautiful surprises that are still to come. The fifth thing to remember is that it's time to stop sacrificing yourself for others at the expense of your happiness and well-being. For much of your life, you may have believed it was your responsibility, almost your duty, to take care of everyone around you, to make sure your children, grandchildren, or other relatives had everything they needed, even if it meant putting your own needs on the back burner. It may have seemed like the most natural and selfless thing to do, and yes, in many ways, it is a noble act. But what so many people fail to realize is that constantly placing others' needs above your own eventually pushes you into the shadows of your own life. And that cost is far greater than it seems at first. It's time to confront an uncomfortable truth. When you make a habit of sacrificing yourself for others, the people around you can become used to it. It's not necessarily that they're ungrateful or don't appreciate what you do. It's just that when someone is always there to fix things, always there to make everything right, it becomes easy to take that person for granted. While you spend your days worrying about whether everyone else is okay, making sure everything is running smoothly for others, they often continue with their lives, blissfully unaware of the toll it's taking on you. You become so busy caring for everyone else that you forget to care for the one person who matters just as much you. What may have once felt like an act of love can gradually turn into a source of deep frustration and exhaustion. The sacrifices once given willingly start to feel like obligations, and that weight can be suffocating. It's important to recognize that constantly giving without replenishing yourself is not sustainable. You deserve to feel valued, to take time for yourself, and to pursue your happiness and fulfillment without guilt. After all, you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's necessary. You've given so much of yourself over the years, and while that has undoubtedly touched the lives of those around you, it's crucial to understand that you are not required to bear the weight of everyone's world on your shoulders. There is nothing wrong with setting boundaries and prioritizing your well-being. When you take care of yourself, you become stronger, more vibrant, and better equipped to help others in a way that doesn't drain you. Now is the time to reclaim your life, to nurture your passions, and to make room for your joy. The people who truly love you will understand and support this. They will see that your well-being is just as important as theirs, and they will respect your need for balance. Remember, you are not just a caregiver. You are a person with your dreams, desires, and needs. It's time to honor that and to recognize that caring for yourself is just as valuable as caring for others. And the worst part? When there is no reciprocity, resentment can easily take root. You look back and realize you've spent years, even decades, dedicating yourself to the needs of others. Your dreams and your desires pushed aside time and time again. And now, when you finally need a little more support, a bit more understanding or care, it doesn't come. It's a bitter pill to swallow, and it's not fair. This realization can weigh heavily on your heart, leaving you feeling emotionally drained and physically worn out. If you continue down this road of endless sacrifice, the exhaustion will only deepen until there's nothing left to give, not even to yourself. That's why it's so critical to start shifting your focus inward. It's time to ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? Putting your needs first is not selfish. It's an act of self-preservation, of self-love. If you don't take care of yourself, who will? And by allowing others to stand on their own, to shoulder their responsibilities, you give them the gift of growth and independence. You are not abandoning them. You're teaching them that they, too, are capable. Now, it's your turn to live, to savor moments that bring you joy, and to invest in your well-being. This is your time to nurture yourself, to embrace the things that make you truly happy, and to finally prioritize you. The sixth thing to remember is to stop ignoring your own physical and emotional limits out of fear of appearing weak or incapable. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that admitting you can't do something is equivalent to admitting defeat. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Recognizing and honoring your limits is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. When you try to do everything as if you're still 30, lifting heavy objects, pushing your body without rest, and ignoring the signs of mental fatigue, you're putting yourself at great risk. Your body has served you well over the years, but it's also changed, and that's okay. There's no shame in acknowledging that you can't do everything the way you used to. Continuing to push yourself too hard can lead to serious consequences: physical injuries, chronic pain, and even emotional burnout. When you pretend those limits don't exist, you're not doing yourself any favors. Instead, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, frustration, and harm. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. There's tremendous strength in knowing when to step back, when to say no, and when to rest. Listening to your body and your mind and respecting their limits is the key to long-term health and happiness. It's not about giving up. It's about adjusting, adapting, and finding new ways to thrive. So, take that rest when you need it. Be gentle with yourself. Your well-being depends on it. The body inevitably changes over time, and that's completely natural. Yet, many of us try to ignore this reality, only to find ourselves dealing with the consequences. Whether it's unexpected injuries, health complications, or even dangerous situations. How many times have you attempted something that used to be so simple, only to realize that your body now responds differently? That's the undeniable truth of aging. And the more you push yourself beyond your current limits, the more you risk unnecessary pain, wear and tear, and ultimately suffering. But here's the key. Acknowledging these changes doesn't mean you have to give up what you love. It simply means adapting to your new limits and respecting what your body and mind can handle right now. Adapting isn't about surrendering. It's about shifting how you approach things. Maybe, instead of trying to lift a heavy object on your own, you ask for help. Or perhaps instead of walking long distances without a break, you allow yourself to take short, restorative rests along the way. These are not signs of weakness. They're signs of wisdom and self-respect. There is profound intelligence in knowing when to stop, rest, or seek assistance. Taking these actions doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're valuing what is truly irreplaceable: your health, your well-being, and your quality of life. Now let's talk about something that often gets pushed aside as we age: our sexual relationships. The 7th thing to stop doing is avoiding intimacy because you think your time has passed or that it's simply not for you anymore. This is one of the most damaging myths surrounding old age, and it needs to be shattered. Sexuality has no expiration date. The desire for intimacy, connection, and physical closeness can and should remain a beautiful part of your life, no matter how old you are. Too many people, often out of fear or embarrassment, end up abandoning this part of their lives. But the truth is that sex, when approached with health and care, continues to be an essential source of pleasure, joy, and emotional fulfillment. It's a way to connect deeply with a partner, to feel alive, and to enhance your overall sense of well-being. Unfortunately, one of the greatest barriers to embracing sexuality in older age is the weight of prejudice, both external and internal. There's this mistaken belief that sex is only for the young, as if it's some privilege that slips away as the years go by. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The notion that sexuality fades with age is a societal misconception that has robbed too many people of their right to experience intimacy and pleasure. It's time to break free from that thinking. Your body is still capable of love, connection, and desire. And as long as you approach it with respect for yourself and your partner, it can bring you incredible fulfillment, no matter what stage of life you're in. Age doesn't dictate your right to love or to feel wanted. It only adds depth to the experience. As the years go by, intimacy can take on a deeper, richer meaning. It becomes less about the mechanics or performance and much more about the profound contact, closeness, and emotional connection that is shared between partners. These elements, true connection and closeness, are the heart of a fulfilling relationship and are vital for maintaining not only a healthy partnership, but also a quality of life that brings joy. However, for many older adults, concerns about performance or the natural changes in their bodies create a barrier to intimacy. It's important to remember that it's perfectly normal for the body to function differently as we age, but that doesn't mean pleasure has to vanish. Quite the opposite is true. The experience you've gained over the years can enhance your sexual life. You have the wisdom, patience, and confidence that come with time. Tools that allow you to explore your sexuality with more freedom and less pressure to meet unrealistic or outdated expectations. There's no need to chase after what you once thought sex was supposed to be. Instead, this stage of life invites you to embrace what feels good, what works for you and your partner now. The secret lies in adapting, in being open to discovering new ways to enjoy intimacy that feel right for both of you, without holding yourself to the rigid standards of the past. Beyond immediate pleasure, staying sexually active in older age brings a wealth of benefits that extend into other areas of health. Countless studies have shown that a regular and healthy sex life can lead to improved mental health, a stronger immune system, and even a lower risk of heart disease. During sex, your body releases powerful hormones like endorphins and oxytocin, nature's very own happiness boosters, which help relieve stress, elevate your mood, and promote an overall sense of well-being. So when you shy away from sex, you may be turning your back on one of the most natural ways to care for your emotional and physical health. Remember, every person's journey with intimacy is different. There's no universal rule dictating how your sexual life should be as you age. The only thing that truly matters is that you feel comfortable, content, and satisfied with your choices. If desire is still a part of who you are, don't allow age or societal prejudices to stifle it. Educate yourself, talk openly with your partner, and if needed, seek advice from a healthcare professional. There are many ways to continue experiencing the joy and satisfaction that intimacy can bring, no matter what stage of life you're in. As we wrap up this video, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 things have you already stopped doing? Or which one do you find the most difficult to change? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your insights might just inspire someone else to take that first step toward a fuller, happier life. And if you found value in this video, please share it with your friends and family. I'm certain that many people could benefit from hearing these tips, so they too can embrace a life filled with joy, health, and happiness. As we come to the end of this video, I hope you've gained some valuable insights into how you can embrace life more fully, regardless of age. I'd love to know what resonated with you the most. What's one thing you've learned today that you plan to put into practice in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience could inspire someone else to make a positive change. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue creating videos that empower and uplift others. Thank you for watching.